Welcome to Buckeyes Tomorrow Morning for Tuesday, April 15th. I'm your host, Tom Orr. The Texas game in 137 days, the game against Michigan in 228 days. If you're planning your next event, make it unforgettable with Grateful Griddle, Columbus's favorite food truck, serving up smash burgers, gourmet sandwiches, and good vibes. Book your catering today at GratefulGriddleOH.com. I'm joined by Kevin Noon at BuckeyeHuddle.com. We are not in exactly our normal setting, not at Ohio Stadium, not at Woody Hayes, not in our homes. We're at the White House. Little bit of a different day, a little bit of a different show for you. Buckeyes were honored for winning the 2024 national championship. You may have heard a little bit about that. It was quite a day at the White House. You know, I know that this is one of these things where it's a very, everyone's divided about everything, and everyone wants to fight about everything. This was one of those things where it was, regardless of who the president is or what you think of the president, that was an incredible honor for that team. And it was a very cool day for them to get to do all the stuff they got to do.
We started off earlier at the Lincoln Memorial and had the opportunity to see the team go through all of that. Really good presentation by one of the U.S. Rangers, who was able to talk about everything that, the history of the memorial. Players were really, excited, big smiles on their faces. The trophy went everywhere with them. We fast forward, we diverted our path from the team. We ended up converging again a little bit after 3 o'clock, a little late. It was on what they say around here, White House time. So a little late with that. And, whatever you want to say about the whole political process, it was a tremendous speech, and I think everybody was extremely happy.
Yeah, it was a very cool moment. And you walk around this place. This is my first time being here, and I'm sure it was for the vast majority of the Ohio State players and coaches. But you walk around here, and everywhere you look, it's that thing I've seen on TV or in movies or in whatever for a million years. Every direction you go, look, there's the Rose Garden. Oh, look, there's the West Wing. Oh, look, there's the south side of the White House. We're kind of on the western side of the White House right now. The West Wing, of the West Wing TV show fame, and also center of executive power in the United States is like 100 feet that way. So it's pretty cool to just be here and sort of see all that there is to see. You could tell the players are really excited, and it was just as the speech that the president gave, he was just sort of going through some of the highlights of the playoff run and all that kind of stuff. And it was so interesting as he's like singling out individual players, like, oh, Will Howard. I remember watching Will Howard against Tennessee in that game, which this is why college football playoff is on that Saturday night. Yeah, everyone's watching, even those at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But as he's talking to these guys, all of these guys, like, you could just see on their faces, like, yeah, man, that's the president of the United States. He's talking to me and about me. That's pretty cool.
I mean, remember the time frame. The election had already happened. 3 of the games, the inauguration had happened. So, Donald Trump working with his transition team and everything else. Oh, whoa, I need to watch Ohio State, Tennessee. So, I mean, that is pretty cool. And just the opportunity to go through and kind of relive some of these moments. Now, and get all the pronunciations right, but it still is a good moment. I mean, it was kind of like leading up to Jack Sawyer in the Texas game and talking about the scoop and score, and you could see Jack. He's like, it's coming. I mean, I'm gonna have my moment.
Yeah.
For a man who's had a lot of moments here lately.
Yeah, Jack Sawyer has had a pretty good couple months, I would guess. Is probably a good time to be Jack Sawyer and to be in the Jack Sawyer business. But yeah, he talked about Trey Van Henderson. He talked about Emeka Egbuka. Talked about Cody Simon. Talked about Jack Sawyer. Talked about Jeremiah Smith and the third down catch against Notre Dame. Just a very, very cool ceremony. J.D. Vance, Vice President of the United States. He is an Ohio State grad, so obviously was extra excited to have the Buckeyes here to be honored. And J.D. Vance ended up sort of the inadvertent star of the show for what looked like about 2 terrifying seconds.
I heard the audible gasp. I didn't exactly see what was happening. We'd been out in the sun for a while. I was starting to get feeling a little under, and all of a sudden I hear the gasp, and I'm like, and I kind of see people scrambling because, as you know, the trophy is 2 parts. There's a base, and then there's the golden leg lamp. It's a major award. And I guess nobody let the vice president know that it is in two pieces, and it kind of came apart in his hands. But he took it in stride. He's already gone to social to kind of comment on it. So again, he's not this typical stuffed shirt type of guy. He, young guy, he was able to really have a moment with it.
Yeah, and then Ryan Day got up, gave a speech. One thing that the president did, talk about, he talked about some of the adversity they had faced during the course of the year, and they lost to Oregon, and they lost to, and they said, basically said, it says here the team up north, and I'm not supposed to talk about that, but really that this was a big thing for them, and kind of made a little bit of a joke of it, and I saw a lot of people laughing. Ryan Day, did you see Ryan Day's face when he said that? Ryan Day was not laughing at that. So that was I thought that was a little bit of an interesting moment. And then Ryan Day got up and gave a very, very nice speech, and it's crazy to see Ryan Day, who at the end of November and in December, 4 or 5 months ago, was not in a tremendous place professionally or personally, probably at that point, standing up there smiling behind a podium with the seal of the President of the United States on it. It is like, boy, it has been a pretty good, talked about being a few months to be in a real good time to be in the Jack Sawyer business. It's been a pretty good time to be in the Ryan Day business as well.
Life comes at you pretty fast.
Yeah.
And we had an opportunity to speak with the Washington, D.C. alumni chapter, and we kind of had talked about, there are only a couple of coaches right now active that have a national championship on their record. So, it was a really good opportunity. RJ Day was here, Nina was here, the daughters were here. So, this is the kind of stuff that you're not going to forget. I'm not saying you're going to forget anything that happened during that 4-game run, certainly, but these are the types of things that you're able to do as a family, whether it's the smaller set of the Day family or the larger set of the Ohio State football family. This is going to be one of those things you just don't, you're never going to put out of your mind.
Yeah, Ryan Day walking into the event, the team came down the two kind of twin staircases on the south side of the White House. You've seen it. The front door of the White House is on the north side. The south side is kind of got that big rounded balcony, and there's staircases on both sides. The team kind of came down those staircases, and then there was kind of a little bit of a pause as they were sort of getting everything set. And then everyone turns towards the West Wing, and there is the president, the vice president, and Ryan Day. It's like, that's pretty good, pretty good company to be coming in, to be entering with, power-wise in terms of Ryan Day. So yes, that was certainly I'm sure a very memorable moment for him. And then afterwards, the team got a chance to do something. We were not invited for some reason. Our invitations probably got lost in the mail, but the team got a chance to do something very cool after the ceremony as well.
Yes, they were invited to the Oval. President Trump kind of joked that he wasn't sure if the floor would be able to hold everybody. They probably had to bring them in groups. Mm-hmm. Oval is not huge. I read a lot of Tom Clancy books and watch those types of movies, so I've seen all of that.
Pretty much an expert.
Yeah, it really, I probably am like 8th in line for the presidency, if we're being honest. But bring them in groups or whatever, and then and there's still going to be an opportunity for some of the team to be able to go to a reception with Vice President J.D. Vance. Just a great day to do this, and this is it for the 2014.
Yeah,
and we were talking about this off camera. This is the last event, and even when you have the reunions at Ohio Stadium, 5, 10, 20, however many years that you do it, you have guys that are still going to be in the league who aren't going to be able to come out to whatever. This is the last time, so very high note to end it on.
Yeah, and one thing that I thought was really interesting, guys who are no longer with the team but are still playing college football, guys who transferred out, the ones who were around for the college football playoff run, guys like Devin Brown, George Fitzpatrick, Patrick Gurd, guys like that who are, Devin Brown is now a quarterback at Cal, Patrick Gurd's a tight end at Cincinnati, George Fitzpatrick's an offensive tackle at Kansas State. Those guys were here. Those guys were still here. Those guys, because, they're gone, but they were still part of the team. The guys, coaches, the true freshmen on this year's team, they were not here. The new coaches, guys like Matt Patricia was not here, but everyone, guys from the 2024 team, they were here. I don't know if I saw Jim Knowles or not.
I did not see Jim Knowles. He's at Penn State, who is obviously a rival now.
And also they're in the middle of spring practice.
Right.
They still have another couple weeks of spring practice, so that may have been I would assume the invitation was extended and he wasn't able to do it. But yeah, it was I thought nice to see some of the guys who were no longer with the program but who were a part of that team still get to be honored and to be a part of that day because they were a part of the team. So now this is party's over. Everyone's turn out the lights. The party's over.
Doesn't mean it's time to stop paying attention to Buckeyes Tomorrow Morning or Buckeye Huddle or anything else. We got so much coming up.
Yeah, well, and this is the show for April 15th. If you have not sent your stuff into our friends down the street at the IRS, I would remind you, hey, you may want to get around. You may want to get on that.
Or file an extension.
Yeah, one or the other. But it's also for April 15th. Guess what happens April 16th? Transfer portal opens. So probably going to be an eventful few weeks in the college football world. Already shaping up to be an eventful few weeks in the college football world, as you may have heard about some drama down in Knoxville, Tennessee. Ohio Stadium South is, I believe, what they call the facilities there.
Yes.
But yes, it is shaping up to be an eventful few weeks as the Buckeyes try to sort of round out their 2025 roster. We'll see if any current members of the team end up going in the portal. Always some interesting stuff going in, going out. Lots of stuff to follow. We'll be talking about it all at BuckeyeHuddle.com. We also have plenty more from this White House visit, including some behind-the-scenes coverage. Get a chance. We're here. We are just as, hey, this is really cool, as you probably would be if you were here. So what we're going to do, we're giving you a chance to see behind the scenes of what does it look like to cover an event like this. We've got the video of the ceremony, but we also have some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. I'm going to try and run out and shoot something, walking around just a little bit around the north side of the White House, and then let you see inside the press room, all that kind of stuff. It is really, really interesting to be here, and guessing you guys will probably enjoy that. You can find all of that stuff at youtube.com/BuckeyeHuddle. And of course, make sure you join us at BuckeyeHuddle.com, because that's where Tony, Kevin, and I cover the team. Mark covers recruiting. We got our whole team of X's and O's gurus there as well, all to make you a smarter football fan. That is all at BuckeyeHuddle.com. That'll do it for today. Thank you guys all for joining us. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.